Hey Empoweristas, it's Alex Wehrley and I'm joined by Tiffany Hakimianpour, the founder of the Handstand app, and I'm so excited you're here today.
Thanks
for chatting
so excited,
with me.
Of course.
I love what you're doing and it's just coming into fruition after about a year of a lot of hard work. But take me back to the beginning. How did you even come up with this idea and what is it?
Yeah, Handstand is an app where you can book a personal trainer or instructor to come to you. And it started when I, graduated college, got a job, and found less and less time to work out. And I figured if I can just, wake up and have a trainer be there, book one on my way home, that would be, incredible. And kind of without knowing this, I went into my local gym and tried to hire a personal trainer for the first time. And it was very difficult, expensive, inefficient, but
And tell me just how expensive, like we're talking
thousands of
dollars a month. That's crazy.
Yeah, on top of your membership. But I did it anyway. And in the process, you become so close with your personal trainer.
Yeah.
And I asked him, how much do you get paid? And when he told me around, $20, and I knew how much I was paying, my heart broke. So it really started with that because he changed my life, and I wanted so many people to do it, but I knew it was so expensive, and I couldn't believe that he was getting paid that. Shortly thereafter, I went to a tech startup that was also a marketplace, and as I was selling it on the phone, everything kind of came together where I could take, all these trainers that have, so much extra time, and I could, put them on this app, on this website, and users can book them. And since we don't have that overhead, they can come to you for about half the cost. They get paid a lot more. So I quit and, got my pitch deck ready and just started talking with anyone I could. And I finally landed at a tech incubator called Science in Santa Monica. We just clicked, signed a deal, and it was me and the tech team and the people that they put around me. And we started testing, and it was, very difficult. We did not launch with, a pristine website app for a very long time. And that was the smartest. And it was the hardest. But we had a lot of, customers, and we had a lot of recurring customers because at least the service was great. Maybe they wanted something else on the app, but then I went and I met them and I spoke with them. What would you like? Trainers, 100 of them at my house. How will you use this? Like, what could we do to make it so, this is kind of like trainer software, but on the other side, on the consumer side, basically it's like attaching customers to a software product, right? So input your calendar, and then people on the other end will, book, home tomorrow, 6 p.m. boxing, and then the trainers who are in that area at that time who do boxing will show up and you can book it.
You've come a long way in, like you said, just about a year. Her app and her website look beautiful. You wouldn't think it was hard because you guys have done such an amazing job. Behind the scenes, like you said, you are basically, up until recently, a one-woman show.
Yeah.
And the journey to getting here wasn't easy. You got a lot of no's at first, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Before I even, I think, met my, first investors at this incubator, I probably didn't even get like one yes. Maybe my dad being the only person saying, I think this
Parents
is a good
don't
idea.
count.
Exactly. It didn't faze me. But that was, in preparation for, when I began all of the other no's.
And how is that? How is that you were like, I'm hearing all these no's, but for some reason, I know I have a good idea and I believe in this idea?
They just didn't, I think there's someone, I think it's Paul Graham, I don't know, that talks about secrets and how little things that people notice are the things that really blow up. And it was this industry that was so behind, I think, the scenes. It's papers. There's nothing technical about it, and it needs to be. It's time.
So you just saw a gap in the marketplace.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, they may not see my vision that there's this gap in the marketplace, but I know that there's a need. Because with every business, like the best businesses are ones that provide a solution to a problem.
Right.
And that's what you were doing. You were giving fitness trainers more money. You were reducing the cost for the customer. You were making making it more convenient because they get to show up. And so you just really believed in that vision.
Exactly. Yeah, I went, and it's so funny, you know, on the way there's just so many things that, you know, you could believe are like signs or whatever, and just it kept me going. And just how you said too, the vision just kept strong. And actually, as I went on, the more no's I got, the stronger I felt, and the more the vision expanded. And I was at that point that I felt so great after a year of tough work.
And that goes to show that so much of entrepreneurship is mental, because you were telling me that so much of it has just been believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And you're young. Can we tell people your age?
Yes, I'm 25 now.
25. You started this journey when you were 23.
Right.
Being a woman in the tech industry, a male-dominated industry, there were lots of things that people could have taken on as mental hurdles.
Right.
Like, you know, the odds are against me. But
For sure.
you pushed through those blocks. How did you do that?
Yeah, sometimes I would be like, oh, it's because I'm a first-time founder. Oh, it's because I'm female. Oh, it's because I'm young.
And you're not actually a coder, or like you
No.
didn't have much of a background in the tech industry.
No.
So there were a lot of things that, yeah, you could have talked
Definitely.
yourself out of it.
Exactly. The customer emails, the trainer emails, you wouldn't believe how many thank yous, and that just keeps you going. Really, in the beginning, the early adopters, for a long time, you know, there's so many I could just name that I feel like I know so personally now that would just randomly like email too, like, I know that you're going to do this. I know you're working your butt off.
That's so sweet.
And I save them, print them.
So focusing on the positive, because
Yeah.
it's so funny how you can get 10 emails, 9 of them will be positive, 1 will be negative, and a lot of people will just focus on that one negative.
Right.
But
Right.
you really, really focus on the positive.
Right, and that's what an entrepreneur is. They focus on the positive, and that's how you see opportunities. If you see the negative, you see the challenges. And there are challenges, and it actually came when, so I have this notepad that I write down everything on, like weekly planner, all of those things, and I found one from a long time ago after maybe being 6 months in, and there were all of these things that I wrote that we need to get this done, we need to have this done, and I, you know, stumbled upon it. I was like cleaning up, and I was like, we did all of that. It was, done. We have like a whole new set of things, and so it just shows that, like, you know, with time, patience is a big part of it. But you can, you know, you could break through. There's a lot of people that empoweristas themselves that I, you know, pull upon, like the Brene Brown.
Yeah, you were saying you're a big fan of her. What is
fan.
something that you learned from her that you really take with you on this journey?
Yeah, she's like that researcher in vulnerability and courage and bravery. And she talks about the critics aren't the ones who count, that, you know, you're your biggest critic. You know, reserve a seat for yourself and the others. You know that they're going to be there. But don't take the no's and all those things from people who aren't in the arena themselves. They're not fighting, so don't take their no's. And so
Understand where
I
that
wouldn't.
criticism is
Yeah,
coming from.
exactly.
If it could just be outside
almost like
noise.
expect it, acknowledge it, it's there. But if you're not also getting your ass kicked in the arena, I don't, you know, value a lot of what you're saying. And I listen to customers, we listen to trainers. They're the ones who essentially built these 2 apps.
Because they're in the arena.
Right.
Yeah.
They're, you know, they're great.
And they're probably giving you constructive criticism.
Yes, exactly.
Like they're not trying to tear you down, they're trying to help you.
Exactly, and there are those people that will try to tear you down. Just ignore them.
So you have to be a really good leader. What have you learned about leadership through this?
Yeah, I think just, you know, holding that positive vision and belief, like how Mike Jones, who's my investor advisor at Science, you know, had this little pep talk with me.
And he's from MySpace, right? Originally?
He was, yeah. They just, Science actually just went through their first acquisition, Dollar Shave Club. So yeah, it was really big time. It was like a week ago. But in the beginning, he saw me down one day and he was like, if you don't lead this ship, no one is going to follow you. And it was exactly what I needed to hear. And then he can even tell you from then on, it was just through the gates. I just took it and ran, and we just started growing, and I started listening, you know, to the customers, to my heart. One person wouldn't book a single session, they wanted a package or a membership. Started hearing it more and more, and I'm like, actually, you know what? Let's do some research. So we looked up, you know, the gym psychology model, and all these things and why they work, and applied it to Handstand. Grew. Started doing more and more, and so you just tweak and tweak, and you have to have that, you know, self-confidence that in the beginning that doesn't come a lot. I think after a year and a half, it's really, I think I finally feel empowered.
I think one of the hardest parts is really having an idea and then taking action on it. Do you have a piece of advice for someone who has an idea on how do you just take action with it?
So I think you just need to lay out, what you need to start at a small scale. You can worry about scalability a little bit later. So we needed, 5 trainers, get 5 trainers, customers, family, friends, website to book on, Squarespace, maybe $5 a month, and just go. And that is that's how you get off the ground.
Yeah, get your infrastructure, start small,
exactly.
and build from there.
Exactly, and then that's when you'll hear it. My friend was like, it would be great if we can choose, a session type, because I know that they're a trainer, but like I want to do, leg workouts. So then comes the session types. Oh, that's a great idea. The trainer. It would be great if I could just input, my availability in like this area and then this area. Great. Let's do that. Does that work for everybody? Yes. Great. Move on. And so you just keep building until you get to this product. And that's how you get off the ground, I think. 3 steps, find out what you need, get it, and then go.
I love it. That's a nice little formula. Something so many people struggle with when they're starting something new is perfectionism and just wanting it so before they go into the next step. But that's something you have struggled with but have overcome, right?
Yes. Really came a long way with that. Definitely that perfectionist. And then there was this one day where I couldn't reach this customer. And I just needed to, confirm something. They hadn't dropped their address and we hadn't had that tool error built yet. And I was flipping out. I didn't know what to do, how this person's not answering their email. And we also asked for their phone number. And James, my advisor, was like, why don't you just text them? And I was like, from my cell phone? And he was like, yep, go, just text them, ask your question. 90% of people open text messages. So I texted her, and she loved that we reached out. I was like, hey, this is Handstand, whatever. And she was like, oh, I love that you texted me. You guys are so quick. And yeah, this is that. And it was, then I just, just started texting everybody. So many customers have my number. So I have to get a new number now. But it doesn't need to be perfect.
So, your initial thought was like, that's not perfect. Like the perfect company would be able to access
It's not this, it's not that, but it doesn't matter. It gets the job done. We can move on. She ended up loving it, and now I use them to my advantage always.
So it's okay to think outside of the box is maybe the moral of the story. Is like think outside of the box. Like how do you get it done? Just get it done.
Exactly. Just get it done. However you need to.
And lastly, what is your definition of empowerment?
My definition of empowerment is stepping into yourself and having that self-esteem to make whatever you need to have come alive.
Awesome. You hear that? Step into yourself, make it come alive, and let us know what your definition of empowerment is using #Empowerista, and we'll show you some social media love. A special thank you to our friends at Young Potential Development who are helping create a new generation of empowered women through their educational programs. On September 1st on Kickstarter, they will launch the Cube that you see right here. It's made up of 11 interactive videos to help teens develop the entrepreneurial skills they need to discover their potential, develop their skills, and ultimately achieve their life goals. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and Twitter @TheCube now.